Okay everybody, welcome back to the Roulette of Sadness, continuing with my playthrough of 1001 Spikes for the PC/Steam. And as you can see, we are starting world number 5, which, if I'm not totally mistaken, is the last world before the final boss, in terms of, or as far as regular levels are concerned. I'm sure there must be other secrets that you will be able to unlock by collecting things or fulfilling certain requirements, which I clearly haven't fulfilled, and I'm not interested in fulfilling for the time being. So yeah, the first stage of this world is all about switches. Remember, switches last for no longer than 5 seconds, so you have to be quick in terms of the decisions you make, the jumps you make. And this particular world, as far as I'm concerned, it doesn't have a specific theme, but it's basically a combination of traps from all the previous worlds, including the switches, fire, obviously spikes, and statues throwing arrows. So here's the fire I was telling you about. Oh yeah, this part is super tricky. Even though I was able to make it to the door very early in my attempts, the fire there is actually a big difficulty there. The fireballs, the big potables or whatever. You have to wait for the right moment to make the jumps and get to the door before getting burned in the process. Get the key is relatively easy. So is getting the extra life, or not quite. I guess you have to write the block in me there or something. But this part is probably the trickiest, again, because most of the fireballs go through the door, or at least through the platform where the door is. So you have to get to the exit quickly. Also depending on your timing with the switch. Even though this level got a tricky part, especially at the end, it is quite short, so it doesn't really get me frustrated. It took me around 13 or 14 minutes to beat this level, all deaths included. Of course, I'm showing you the last part of it, where even though I die a few times, I end up winning in the end. So you don't have to waste your time watching me die for around 10 or 12 minutes, and then only 2 minutes of a good attempt. I like the music to this world though. It's kind of relaxing considering the type of world this is. On today's video I'm showing you 3 stages, just like the previous 2. That will be the idea. And I couldn't survive that. I'm not sure if this is going to be the winner attempt. If not this one, probably the next. Again, it's always good to show you a few deaths, basically for you to see the process of how I ended up conquering things. Not the whole process, but at least some of it. Probably that was a good decision, I'm not sure. Yeah, literally this switches last 5 seconds most. And there you go. Made it to the door right before the next fireball group appeared. And then we got the next level, which, as you can see here, is based on a bunch of boulders. At first you will see me die a lot. Basically because I don't know the proper timing for this. So now things will be different, you will notice. And now I'm waiting for the boulders to pass by I mean, you have to wait until there is a little bit of a gap so you can proceed. Then destroy this block. At first this part could be a little frustrating because all about the boulders, you know, the boulders are all about patience, which when it comes to video games I don't have enough of. Alright, this part is probably the worst, the most annoying one out of this whole level, which is to get the key. Because basically you depend on these 3 moving platforms, and as you can see, in order to go through all this, you have to quickly jump every time you step on those blocks or platforms because there are spikes in it. And this is the last section of the level, which is somehow tricky, but actually I realized later that the solution is much easier than I thought. You will see when I beat the level. And as you can see, those balls in the last section are pretty much like boulders, but they move slightly faster. But probably the part that got me the most frustrated or made me waste the most time was definitely this moving platform section, because I wasn't sure about how to handle the spikes. It's all about the timing. You can even ride the very same platform all the time if you want. It's definitely a riskier solution, but it is perfectly doable. And as you can see here, I was wasting my time jumping and trying to dodge some balls before proceeding, but there is another one coming out of the generator, so I ended up getting killed. I think in a practice run somehow I managed to beat the level by doing what exactly showed you a couple of times already. Like, stay there and jump a couple of times over the balls and then proceed. But in the end, that strategy couldn't work anymore. If I'm not mistaken, this is the winning attempt. Let's find out. Yeah, it should be. But again, the first part, even though I died a lot on the boulders as well as the spikes on the platforms, they became really easy in the end. But here, as you can see, I decided just to keep going and keep my distance between the balls that are in front of me and behind me. So yeah, it's an easy level overall. Okay, this is the last level we are featuring today. Another one that took me a long time to study and understand. You have to face one side, even if you're staying there. You don't have to walk towards that side, but you have to face on one direction, so this moving pillar moves on the opposite one. Basically you have to look right, so this jumping structure jumps left, and then do the opposite. Well, first of all you have to press a switch and then deal with this statue that works on proximity, by the way, the arrow shooting. And I completely ignored the one on this second part, which was pretty much the last one before the end of the level. So again, we're dealing with another case of a short level, but each trap is very difficult to handle on its own. Trust me, I took a very long time trying to deal with this statues, these arrows, trying to figure out how to ride these jumping structures. I'm gonna press the switch very quickly, make this thing come your way, and then jump over the arrows. I guess that's what you can do. That requires full concentration. Perfect timing as well. I don't think I'm gonna win in this one. I actually succeeded. So yeah guys, that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next episode.